Welcome back to another episode of Athlete POV. We're sitting down with Aaliyah Moore, Texas women's basketball. We're excited to have her on. Can't wait to see what she has to say. And we're so thankful that she's making time for us in the middle of a big tournament run. What's going on?
Hey guys, thanks for having me on. Excited to be here and ready to answer some questions.
Of course. And the first thing I want to mention, and we can't ignore this, huge game versus Utah recently. 16 points. How did that go for you? What was your mindset going into the game?
Honestly, just to be ready when my name was called, I came off the bench, played 20 minutes, but I wanted to make sure when I was out there on the floor that I was putting in good minutes to where he wouldn't want to take me off the floor. And just playing hard. At the end of the day, our coach is big on playing hard. So just doing that. At the end of the day, the points will come, but rebounding, playing defense, that's the first thing on my mind.
Absolutely. And now, being someone like yourself who is highly rated out of high school and then unfortunately had an injury back in around November-ish, how do you seem to manage throughout the whole season just the recovery process and then like slowly getting back into the lineup?
Yeah, it's been a lot of ups and downs my freshman year. I definitely learned a lot, though. Wouldn't trade it for anything else. But I would say just being very big in my faith helped me through it, and being very tough mentally and physically. When I came back, I was behind. I got out of shape. I just felt like I was like 3 steps behind my teammates. They had been working out. And also, we were playing really well even while I was out. And a lot of my teammates had gotten better. And I'm like, as they should. That's great. So, of course, I felt behind. But my teammates always had my back. My coaches did. And I'm just now kind of, as you can see, getting back into the fill of things all the way at the end of the season. So it's definitely been a ride. My freshman year's been something.
Of course. And now going into the tournament as a number 2 seed, obviously that's one of one of the premier college basketball programs in the country, really. What's now the mindset after the first 2 games? What's the mindset going in for the rest of the tournament? Do you have obviously expectation to win the whole thing, right? But what is like the most important thing you're thinking about going into the next game versus Ohio State on Friday night?
Yeah, we have to play to the best of our ability and just play our game, play how Texas plays, basically. Which is, everyone knows our defense is different. Nobody plays defense like us. And so our defense needs to be 110% on point, and we just have to take care of the ball. We do those 2 things because our offense will come. We have scorers everywhere on the floor. But yeah, we defend well, and we just take care of the ball. And of course, we'll rebound. We'll be perfectly fine. But I think that's just the biggest thing, just making sure we're focused and we're locked in on the things that we usually do well so we can perform well.
Is there a certain ritual that you guys do maybe before every game or leading up to every game that your coach really instills in you guys?
Not really a ritual. We do the same thing before every game. We go out there, we shoot 15 minutes, or an hour and 15 before the game. And we do one thing that's an hour. We do our normal stretching with our weight do that. And then, we do our post and guard stuff. So, I guess you could say that's our ritual, but it's really our pregame warm-up. But we don't ever change it. So I guess
right, yeah,
that could be a part of yeah.
That's what I was trying to say. Yeah, no, but that's very good. It's good to have a consistent schedule, and maybe that's just with everything. Say you have a daily routine when you get up in the morning, right away you drink a glass of water or something like that, and then it becomes a habit, and then that habit becomes something that can benefit you. So, well, that's just in general I think can really benefit anybody in any situation. Right.
Yeah.
So now another big thing that happened this year, Texas won the Big 12. Was that really the first step? Was that the first goal for this season, and then you build on top of that, or how does that go for you guys?
Man, it was definitely a goal of ours and a goal of mine. To do that as a freshman, that was unbelievable. I'll never forget that moment. But I think as a team, we really wanted to beat Baylor. That was a big thing for our seniors, I know, because they haven't done that before. In 13 years, I think, was the last time we beat Baylor. So we basically made history. But it was definitely a goal of ours. We wanted to be Big 12 champs. We have a lot of small goals, but that was a really big one, and that we accomplished.
Absolutely. So now let's take a little bit of a 180 here. Let's talk more about Aaliyah. 2-time Gatorade Player of the Year in high school. How do you become the Gatorade Player of the Year? Because I know not a lot of people get the chance to do that, let alone twice.
Honestly, I had a career. Really not the high school too. We were pretty good. I still believe if COVID wouldn't have shut us down, we would have won state my junior year. But we got to the semis and COVID stopped everything. But we would have won state. I would have had a state ring, but it's okay. Yeah. But I mean, I had a great high school career. I put a lot of work in during my high school career, and it paid off at the end of the day. The accolades are always nice at the end of the day, but like when you get to college, nobody cares about that. I'm not the big dog anymore. I'm the small one now. So just it's great that I've been in high school, but new chapter, so just been on my game for college.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I got a lot from what you just said there. First off, when you said how COVID hit, I can remember watching, I think it was like the Big East tournament on TV, and my dad, who's a St. John's basketball fan, was watching. They were playing, I think it was Creighton or something, and halftime happened, and the game just stopped because it was like in the middle of the game, and he was like, "Oh, what happened to my game?" And it just hit us all like a train. How COVID and just natural like disasters like that can really just put a pause, and you just realize a bigger picture of some things that you can't control. So obviously, like you said, I would have had a ring, but you can't control that, and I'm sure you would have did everything in your power, but ultimately we'll never know. But as you said, high school is in the review mirror now, in front of college, right? So now, when you said you got to campus, you're no longer the big dog. You're no longer. I'm not even sure if you're like a captain or like the senior leadership on the team. But now you got to learn from when you started again, when you were in high school on the bottom as a freshman, right?
Yeah.
So what's that process? So what's that process been like from now learning how to maybe not so much be the leader, but now learning from the leaders of the team, the upperclassmen?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, I'm not the type to where I always want to lead, so it was really easy for me. I'm the type where I'm all about the team. So whatever I have to do, I'll do my role and I'll do it very well. So this year, I wasn't really, I was a leader in an aspect of a way, me and the other freshmen on the team. But at the same time, I was also someone that not a follower, but I was learning and watching a lot of the upperclassmen. Just to learn, the ways, and this is my first year with Coach Schaefer, and they had a year under their belt, so just learning from them. But at the same time, I did kind of have a voice in some stuff, and I still do. And Coach Schaefer wants me to lead, especially because next year we're going to be really young, like even younger than we were this year. And next year I'm going to have to be a leader and step up in that role. So I would say high school really helped me prepare for that because I was the leader on my team in high school. It's kind of like 50-50, being, watching, but also kind of leading from the back. That's what I would say.
I gotcha. So you're a leader to your crowd of people, and I'm sure every role is important on a team. So don't ever think, oh, I'm not a leader, I'm not important. Everything is comes full circle, especially on any team, whether it be baseball, football, basketball. So now another thing we got to talk about that no one really gets a chance to do besides people that ultimately deserve it. McDonald's All-American in high school. What was that game like? Tell me about that experience.
So, because of COVID, we weren't able to have the game. Yeah, but they sent this big red box to my house, and it was huge. I would say maybe 7 feet. It was really big, and it was like a locker. And so you opened it and had all our McDog stuff in there, all the gear we would have got if we would have went in person. So that was really cool, and I really appreciate them for giving us the gear still. But yeah, really upset we didn't have a game, but it's fine.
Oh man, well at least you still got that recognition. I'm sure they tried to do everything as normal as possible until ultimately the game. But another thing, you were on the USA team when you were 16 in the U16 league. How did that go in the FIBA championships?
Yeah, that was also an unbelievable experience, one that I will never forget. Traveling to Chile and being able to, represent Team USA, that was unbelievable. And it was so much fun, winning with those girls. I'm still really good friends with all of them, and I still talk to them. But I'll just never forget the tryouts and just how fun they were. And just the atmosphere. It was different. And the training camp was different. I was probably in the best shape of my life. And so I'm hoping that I'll be able to, try out for USA again. I couldn't last. I was hurt. Had surgery on my hip, so I missed the U18 sadly. So I'm hoping this year I'll have another chance in the upcoming years because I would love to get another gold medal.
Yeah, I mean those are always really fun to have.
Yeah.
So wait, the kids that were or the girls on your team when you were on the USA team, do they now really play like college basketball like yourself too?
Yeah, all of them do. I'm pretty positive. One of my good friends, Peyton, goes to Louisville. Amari, she goes to UConn. Who else was on that team with us? London Jones, she's committed to UCLA. She was a year younger, so she'll be there next year. Kiki Rice committed to UCLA, also the Gatorade Player of the Year in her state. So yeah, we had some amazing players. We were definitely stacked.
You can definitely say that. So now going back to yourself, like maybe an internal aspect. No one really gets lucky to be where you are right now. Obviously, a lot of hard work and dedication hours goes in to where you are right now. What would you say are some of your healthiest habits you think that you do every day? Like it's just a routine to you now, like it's automatic.
My healthiest habits. I've really tried to work on improving my self-talk. And it's become better, as you keep doing it, like you said, it becomes a habit. And so just not even just doing that on the court, like doing that, when I first wake up, like you're going to have a great day today. And then it translates to on the court. So like if I make a mistake, I'm like, you're fine. So definitely self-talk is probably one of my healthiest habits. I'm a big stretcher. So like I love stretching. I love yoga. Taking care of my body is really big for me, getting treatment. And so that's probably also one of my healthiest habits. I'm always in the treatment room before and after practice. Drinking water, eating healthy, of course, you have to do that as an athlete, especially at this level and the way we practice. I feel like those are I think I said 3. Yeah, 4.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, all of those are definitely really good. Now, a lot of people that I've talked to, like athletes on this podcast, this is like, I think, number 30 or 31. But a lot of them leave out how stretching and flexibility can be really like beneficial, right? So would you say that really like stretching and yoga and stuff like that, like really flexibility? Do you think that's an underrated characteristic for college athletes maybe?
It definitely is, because I've seen it. Especially in high school, like nobody really worries about that stuff. But in college, I thought it was going to be a little bit better. But I've noticed even in college, like people don't stress enough on their body. Like we are pounding our bodies every day in games and practices. You have to take care of it, especially if you want to go to the next level. Your body's gonna, you're not gonna be. It's not gonna be useful for you when you want to play in the WNBA in 5 or so years because you're killing your body. So it's definitely important in stretching, like I said, yoga, flexibility, mobility. Also, it helps you be the best athlete you can be. Like you can't run up the floor if every 5 seconds you're like back's locking up or something. So yeah, it's definitely underrated. And I don't think people realize how important it really is.
Absolutely, 100%. If you can be say when you're like Olympic weightlifting, you can be the strongest person possible, but if you don't take care of your body, what are you gonna do? You can only last so long.
Exactly. You're not gonna be able to lift because you're gonna be sore. Yeah.
Right. So now let's take a turn here to maybe like a lighter subject. If you can go to dinner with 2 people, right? Any restaurant, what are you ordering? Where do you go? Who do you go sit down with?
Ooh, if I could go to a restaurant with 2 people, I would have to say one would be LeBron. I'm a big LeBron James fan. All hail the king. Probably one of my favorite players of all time. And then I'll do a woman. That's tough. I have so many like idols that are women. Probably Rihanna. I'm a big Rihanna fan. I love all her music. I know these are like people that are famous, but it would probably be those 2 people.
Icons.
2 of my icons, literally. And I would have Rihanna suggest a restaurant because she's always eating somewhere good. And I would want her to bring A$AP Rocky with her. What was the other thing? You said where we'd eat.
Where are you going and what are you ordering?
What am I ordering? Okay. So let's say she picks like an Italian place. I'm probably going to get some type of tortellini pasta with shrimp or chicken with a mix of marinara and Alfredo sauce. Of course, you got to have the garlic bread on the side and probably a water.
All right, yeah, definitely specific, but it sounds really good. And you know, as someone who's Italian myself, I love good Italian food. Yeah, I can definitely give that. It's acceptable. Nice. So something else. If you actually, let's take a quick cut there because I like kind of blanked out for a second. So we'll just edit it out. All right. What was it? I literally had it written down.
No, you're good.
Oh, here we go. All right, ready?
Yep.
Another thing. So obviously college basketball player. If you could play a different sport, what would it be? That's not basketball.
Oh, easy. Oh, actually, that's not easy. Okay, I have two: volleyball and soccer. And I actually played club for both. I played club soccer for 10 years. That was actually the sport I thought I was going to go to college for. Yeah, I was goalie, and I loved it. Which I think is also helped with my footwork and my hands. But I also played club volleyball my freshman, sophomore years. Yeah, so 2 years. I love volleyball even to this day. So probably between those two.
Cool, man. And I think definitely with other sports and like college athletes playing other sports, it's so beneficial because it just shows all different areas of like athleticism, like maybe thinking on the fly, like different like ways to move your body. You know, it's like example. I think I remember like when I was in high school, I played football and baseball. My high school coach, he played this video. I think it was like Nick Saban, Alabama's football coach, like giving a speech to to some recruits, and he was like, if you can play 3 sports or 2 sports in high school, not just football, then you like shoot up our charts of like recruiting and stuff. So it definitely like helps. And you play club soccer for 10 years. That's really impressive. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you. It definitely does help in all aspects of your game. But yeah, I love soccer. That was really like I told my mom when I was like younger. Of course, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go play. I think my dream school was Stanford at the time, and I was like, I'm gonna go be the goalie for Stanford. That obviously changed, but yeah, I did. I love soccer.
Yes. Now coming full circle. Do you have like 1 or 2 people that you really look up to, you know, as like a role model that you just like, yeah, I'm listening to this person. They're giving me like all this wisdom. Do you have someone like that?
Definitely my mother. She played at the next level. She played at Alabama A&M, and so she knows the game. She really does. Our games are very similar. I was taller than her, but like she was a dog. But yeah, she's definitely someone that I look up to.
Definitely, and that's super cool for like a parent to have that much effect on their kid, especially when they've done it at the same level that they have. It's like a blueprint sort of that you follow to some degree.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So now, last thing we always ask here on Athlete POV to all of our guests: if you had any advice to someone maybe going through a tough time with their mental health, what would you say to them with any advice you might have?
I would definitely say to seek help and don't be afraid to. At the end of the day, you're not weak. It may seem like that, but you're not. And seeking out for help it shows a sign of strength. Actually, it is not weakness. And also for me, something that's helped is just like journaling or even like making videos. So like I blog a lot of stuff, and so I'll like blog my day and like all your emotions, whether you're having a good day or a bad day. And then what I'll do is like when I'm having a good day or something, I'm going to look back and I'll be like, wow, look how far I've come. And then same thing with journaling. You can look back and be like, that's in the past. But yeah, I mean, honestly, just to talk about it and don't be afraid to.
Yeah, and I feel like something that doesn't get put on like notice a lot is like athletes' mental health, because you see all like the stereotype is hard nosed, like pedal to the metal, like do your thing, and no one really looks at like I would say college athletes that much as like having some sort of feelings, So I think it's important for athletes like yourself and other athletes that I've talked to like speak out about it, and I feel like it's definitely something that's important.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. It's very, very important, and you see a lot of athletes that feel like they can't say anything because they'll be, like I said, they'll be taken as that they're weak, and athletes can't be taken as that they're weak, and so sadly, that leads to a lot of depression and people sadly wanting to take their own life. And so this is definitely something that we need to talk about more, because a lot of people need help. They just don't know how to get the help. And I think also the athlete community coming together and helping each other out. Because at the end of the day, we're the only ones that really know what we're going through being athletes. And so I think just speaking up and helping out other athletes is really important.
Absolutely. And thank you for speaking out and really having a strong opinion about this, because people like yourself are people that can make the real change that should happen as soon as possible.
Yeah.
All right. We want to thank Aaliyah for coming on. Appreciate her time. I know she's probably in a team hotel right now, it looks like, but
yeah.
Wishing her the best in the rest of the tournament, and best of luck.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thanks for having me on.
Of course.